Okay, class. So you should have some drawings with a line color and a fill color. Let's see how we can remember how in your model, right? I'm using an example right here from one of your classmates. Um, you got certain components, certain items that are actually sloping. And in these images, you see how actually the shadow right here, it really helps us understand the well, the complexity and the uniqueness of each of the models. So shadows and tones really help reading these pieces. So I'm going to show you guys how to bring um, some of that into the drawings here themselves. All right. So we're going to move on to, or we're going to open up Illustrator. I'm sorry, Rhino. Okay, so let's go back to Rhino. Right, so view perspective right here. Okay. So let's do an elevation. So let's go to your merge model, one that has been merged. I'm gonna make a copy of it. Okay, and I'm gonna zoom in there. Okay, so we basically want to get its front view, which is this one right here, this view that should match in this case. Let's see, can I do this right here? All right, this view matches that view right there, that elevation. But before we export that, let's set it up. So let's go to rendered, and as you can see, we have, or I have applied right here a material. So if you select the object, you'll see that I'm on P2. Okay. So that's the layer, right? So P2, and if you click right here, this little dot right there, that's the material. You can click right there, and this dialog box comes. And the reason that we're doing a render view, and notice that we're not necessarily rendering, but we're doing a render view preview, is so that again we can achieve some of these shadows that help us read a little bit better the projects, some of that contrast, and remember there's some settings that you can change right here if you right click on the render tools. All right, so this this window pops up, and again, even though we're not rendering per se, um, we can, right, backdrop, wallpaper, light. All right, so if I click right here on the sun, on, it's gonna give me a better result, right? So if I turn off the skylight, right, sun on and off, sun settings. So we don't have to. Oh, okay, maybe that's why. Right, so you can select this right here, and you get some um, different results right here with the shadows. Um, but more importantly is the material, right? Because right here in the material, I selected paint. Oops. From the default ones right here. So that let's select something that doesn't have a huge amount of gloss or reflection at the moment. So I selected paint, and then notice that for the color, we have our RGB sliders, and you guessed correctly, we can actually use our color palette tones to try to match them. So I think in this case, I did the E95. That's and if not, well, there it is. And so I'll do. And so I match that one, but I can copy this one, match it, and so I have that color right there. And so again, I'll go for this one, very bright one, which I feel like me. Actually, I think I'm gonna change it over here because I think that might be too much. We'll leave that for maybe some of the dash lines that we want to do. So click OK. So that's the color right here. And then let's go to capture the file, and we'll do save. Let's go ahead. Oh, name. I think this was elevation 2. File. Oh, here it is. All right, so that was weird. So capture view. Oh, a screen capture to file. Sorry, no, it should be view capture to file. View capture to file, because you should get this window right here. Okay. Let's go ahead and uncheck all of these. I think by default all of these are selected, so uncheck those. Go ahead and select transparent background. The resolution, that's okay. Click OK. And now I'm going to replace this right here, the E2. Click Save. You want to replace it? Yes. And then we could go back right here in Illustrator. I'm going to select this work right here. I'm going to press Control X for cutting. I want to press Control Shift B for pasting in place. And then I'm going to group all of that. And then I'm going to create a new sub layer. And that drawing was elevation. Well, I guess, remember that I didn't finish the exercise, but in this case, I guess, it's elevation 3. So I'm going to create a new layer. All right, so that's the set, elevation 2. I'll call this elevation 3. And again, I'm going to jump that over here to elevation 3. So that's its own layer now. And I can just copy it over here that I can show you guys, like, for us to try. And if you go to File, Base, let's see, I think I'm saving stuff over here. We have I labeled them, it should be 3, but it's okay. Let's go to Place. Right, we have that image right here. Then I'm gonna keep working with layers over here. I'm gonna create a new layer over here, parent layer, and I'm gonna call this captures, Rhino captures. I'm gonna change this image to that layer. All right. So now it's in that. Notice that it went straight to the back. I'm gonna change this color right here. This is just for the display, but the black is really hard to see. Okay, that's just for the object selection. And then the name of the game is to scale this down so that it aligns with the lines. All right, I keep arrows. All right. Placing there. And probably even, let's see if this is gonna work. If we actually go into the elevation, actually paste it here, right? And actually right click and arrange send to back. It's probably nice to actually have the image that is acting as our background, and grouped with the lines that it corresponds with. So you see now we have the elevation with some, not only with an image, but that image is giving us the a color, a fill color, and you can actually crop this a little bit. Apply. Okay. We have one right here, one elevation. Let's try this other one right here, this other elevation. So again, I'll repeat. Now we're looking at, go back to shaded, and then I'm going to rotate the model. It's gonna be a little bit easier for me. So I think it's now this elevation that I need. So if I select this right here, and then from the top view, set view to top, and let's see, I rotate 90 degrees, right? I should, nope, and 90. Okay. Now we're trying to match, generate the fill for this elevation right here. So I'll maximize my front view, select the object. I would go to assume selected, and then go to render, and we have here these fills. Right, and then what was the command? Capture to file, view capture to file, and this is now, this is actually elevation 2. Transparent background, click OK. Just elevation 2 R, the real one. Save it. Go back to Illustrator. Double click on our group for the elevation that we want to place it under. Go to File, Place, and this was 2ER. Click, place it. And again, very important that when you're scaling this up, you're holding Shift. So you don't wanna, you wanna make sure that this doesn't happen to you, right? Like doing this, right? Because you're distorting the image. So make sure that you hold Shift. Again, remember, right click, arrange, send to back. Send it to the back. Position it. And I'm trying to scale it to match as accurately as possible. Two matches right here, and almost right there, and then just use your arrows to position it. So the idea is to match or start depicting start having the drawings depict your models a little bit better. So notice how, again, the color that I'm selecting right here to fill this in is actually the color of the model. So I think that would be the start for your color palette, right? For your final assembled model, try to mimic that as the fill color right here, the surface color for the objects themselves. Let's try now maybe a section cut, right? We have these section cuts right here, and how to export those views. Let's maybe go to the only problem right here is I don't know if I have so I have clipping planes. The question is, are they gonna match? Are they gonna match? So let's let's see. We'll see. So if we're lucky, it will. Okay. What do I mean? Well, I have this clipping plane right here. Remember that I'm gonna activate it. I'm going to activate it. View visibility. Enable. All right, so we have this view right here. So I can go to my front view. So I think it's should be this one right here, but we need to also habilitate it right here. So go to shaded, select the clipping plane. Right, there it is. Double click, render it. Okay, so we have that, and it's the same principle. Now this is what I mean, right? So you see how there's those there's that drawing on the back. If I select all of this and make 2D, it's going to give me some line right here on the bottom because of that. So I'm just going to select this, get it out of the way, select that object right there, go to standard, zoom selected in all viewports, zoom in there, and now I'll do my capture file. And then this is now going to be my vertical section cut. Save. Then go to my vertical section cut right here. I'm going to get this out of there, Control X as in paste, Control Shift B, place it in place, Control G, group, and now it's its own drawing. Double click on it, file, paste, vertical section cut, place, click, hold Shift so that we can scale it down. Right click so that we can arrange send to back. And again, hold Shift so that we can scale this to match. And use arrows to position it in place. This is where you know, I was a little bit afraid of this. My so we want to make sure that the section cut fill is it's contrasting enough for sure, right? For the drawing, and right now it blends in with the pink, unfortunately, right? And I don't know what I can do is I can bring it over here so that I can really see how it looks. But we ideally want to have a real contrast. So I think I'm going to have to select these right here, the fill. And assign them a different fill color. And probably I'm just going to have to go to black from the palette that I have. See how that looks. See, that's not ideal either. it kind of like blends in. So would it work if we do that same green? It should. C2D, and again, you can copy paste it, but I think that's going to be good enough contrast. Make sure that just do your best to match these. Be a little bit smaller. So our section cut fill will be the what do we call this? I think they have names even here. I thought they had names. I don't know. But that is green right here. All right. So let's go ahead and place the image captures from your Rhino 3D model over the exported line work, and again utilizing the color palette that you're using for your project. And again, the idea is to stick to those 5 colors. Okay. All right. So don't forget, save. Let's go do a file, save as. Okay. And we'll continue after that.